where do all of the other atoms come from? And that leads us to the third and final piece. Supernova nucleosynthesis. The final step. So here we go. How do I get the rest of these atoms? So we've already said this, but I think we should, just for to be complete, we should actually do this here. So game over for a star when it tries to fuse iron. And the reason why, as we already said, no more radiant pressure, right? There's no more radiant pressure. So if I look at this, I could say that before iron, what did we have here? Well, what we had here is that we had a star. So if I look at my star here, I'm going to say, okay, here's my star. And we had a core, an active core, right? So we could come in here and we could say, yep, this was an active core. And an active core means that you had fusions that were occurring. So what does that active core do? What it does here is it produces a radiant pressure. And as it produces this radiant pressure, we know that the gamma rays coming from the core apply a pressure that pushes the star outward, right? This is our radiant pressure. However, we know that we have gravity that's doing what? It's trying to collapse the star. So if you suddenly turn off the radiant pressure, well, look what happens. What happens then is that now I have a dead star. It's not active anymore. So because it's not active anymore, that means I have a dead core here. So this tells me here is that this is a dead iron core that produces no radiant pressure. So there's no more radiant pressure. However, we still have gravity. We still have gravity pushing down, right? We still have gravity pushing down. And remember, this gravity is intense, right? This gravitational inward push is huge. Remember what I said here. The smallest sun, right? our sun explodes 1 trillion megatons of nuclear bombs per second. And what does gravity do? We said here is that gravity contains all this explosive energy, right? Gravity contains this explosive energy. So what you find here as a consequence, if I move over to here, what you're finding here is that gravity will almost instantly, and I should be careful when I say the word instantly, because instantly implies that it's going to happen in a snap of or a blink of an eye. I don't think it really happens like that, but after the core becomes dead, it should happen within minutes to possibly a day. So, but if you talk about a star that's 5 billion years old, that is instantly. So gravity will almost instantly push inwards and send the star into a critical state. And what I mean by a critical state is that it collapses the star. That is, it takes this ball of hot gas, right? This ball of hot gas, and collapses it. Yeah, collapses it. And so what happens here is that then you have a series of situations that happen. So what it does now is that it does the following thing. So when the star implodes because of gravity, it dramatically increases temperatures and pressures okay? It dramatically increases temperatures and pressures. So picture-wise, I imagine something like this here. So I imagine that we have a process like this. So when I look at this thing, what's actually happening? So now what happens here is that it now collapses. So as it collapses, what you're seeing here is that I still have my core right here. How do I do this here? Let's do this thing here. And so what happens is that it does this thing here. I still have my core. And this core is really, what you're doing here is that you're literally increasing this area right here, then becomes extremely dense. And so what you're finding here is that if it's extremely dense here, it then increases the pressure. And as it increases the pressures, what you're seeing here is that now what happens here is that you're getting a situation where this compression, so it increases the pressure, and as a consequence, what you find here is that it increases the energy density dramatically. But there's another thing that happens here. So what you're going to find here is that in this compression, what they call this is there's a new nuclear process, and it's called a rapid nuclear process. And I'll talk about that in a minute here. But here's the thing also. The other thing that happens here is that there is a rebound effect where the gases bounce off the dense iron core. And when it does that, you get this enormous explosion that is the largest in the universe. It's the largest in the universe. And this huge explosion is what they call a supernova. And this explosion, oh my gosh, it's it's crazy. So the brightness of this supernova explosion is so bright that it outshines billions of stars. And let me show you what I mean by that. So here we go. And so this is an image right here. And what you're seeing here is that I think I'm going to change colors here so that it's easier to see. I think I'm going to go to white. This right here is the star that's going to go supernova. So this is the star before it goes supernova. Okay. This is the star after supernova, right? So this is the supernova now. And when you compare the brightness of that single star, you are outshining all of the stars in the galaxy, which is freaking amazing. And what you're seeing here is that, look at the brightness of this thing. You could see that this is an intense, intense energy.